Everyone knows Cupid's arrow is responsible for love in Greek mythology. But not many know about Eros himself and the most devastating love of epic proportions. From jealousy and sinister plots to Aphrodite's vicious revenge, this is what happened when Eros found love. In an ancient Greek kingdom, when the gods were still mingling with regular people, 3 princesses dreamed about their future husbands. Each wanted different things like jewels and a general for a husband. But Psyche only wanted a love that would change her life forever. The other 2 sisters were beautiful, but Psyche outshone them both, catching everyone's eye and sparking some serious sisterly envy. People from distant lands even came far and wide just to catch a glimpse of this famous princess. Psyche wasn't just a regular princess. She was worshipped like a true goddess, stealing the spotlight from Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty. The tributes meant for Aphrodite were now directed toward this young, beautiful royal. Fuming with anger, the goddess Aphrodite watched the parade that followed the princess, offended by the mortal who dared to think she was on par with the gods. Finding her temple empty, Aphrodite sought her son Eros, the god of love and passion. She asked him to make her fall in love with a hideous creature as punishment. As night fell, Eros sneaked into the royal palace and quietly entered Psyche's room. There he found the sleeping princess and, with curiosity, approached to confirm if her beauty matched the rumors. Overwhelmed by Psyche's splendid beauty, Eros, in an unexpected twist, accidentally wounded himself with his own weapon when Psyche turned in her sleep. The wounded god, now infatuated with the young and beautiful mortal, failed to carry out the mission intended to harm Psyche. Unaware of what had happened, Psyche continued her life, oblivious to the strange events. Despite being the most adored and beautiful, she remained single while her sisters had numerous suitors. Despite the reassuring words, the king was seriously concerned about his daughter's situation. Unbeknownst to him, Eros, the love god, was playing a role in the lack of suitors for Psyche, as he was head over heels for the girl. Desperate for answers, the king sought guidance from the Oracle of Delphi. In a mystical encounter with a python, the god Apollo delivered a troubling prophecy, declaring that Psyche was destined to marry a winged being who causes harm to mortals and gods and would be left in an abyss in bridal attire after her marriage. Apollo was pointing fingers at Eros, the god of love, nursing a grudge against him for orchestrating unrequited love in the past. Tearfully, the king left the temple, grappling with the idea of losing his beloved daughter. Yet the envious sisters of Psyche insisted that he must follow the oracle's guidance. They said he should sacrifice their sister for fear of angering the gods to save the kingdom. The princess was then led into the abyss in a bridal procession that resembled more of a funeral march. Listening to her parents' sorrowful cries, Psyche accepted her fate. Left at the edge of the abyss, Psyche awaited her dreaded husband. A breeze, the god Zephyr, also known as the west wind, began to lift her towards the sky, and the princess floated towards her destiny. After being carried away by Zephyr, Psyche opened her eyes to an enchanting place. Flowers adorned the landscape, emitting a delightful fragrance. A stunning palace, crafted from the whitest marble, stood prominently. Psyche ascended the stairs leading to the palace entrance, captivated by the opulence surrounding her. The palace exuded striking luxury. No shortage of decorations embellished in gold and silver. Upon entering, she heard a gentle voice, though its source remained elusive. "My lady, all you see now is yours, and we are here to assist you in anything you desire." So Psyche found herself surrounded by invisible helpers, like magical servants or something. They assisted her with baths and meals and even serenaded her with beautiful tunes. Naturally, Psyche was curious. the helpers revealed that their master had been called a monster. But, truth be told, he's not evil, just a bit unpredictable. So Psyche's in her room, feeling all distressed. Night falls, and the goddess Nyx has cloaked the skies. It's pitch dark, and Psyche can't see a thing. Suddenly, something sneaks in through the window, and she senses the presence of her mysterious hubby, feeling his breath on her neck. Tense and clueless about what's going to go down, Psyche braces herself for who knows what. But surprise! Instead of some nightmare, she has a night filled with joy and affection from her new husband. Morning came, and he was already out the door. Thanks to the darkness, Psyche hadn't seen his face yet. She spent the day exploring her new home, but couldn't shake the thought of when she'd meet her mysterious companion again. Night rolled in, and Psyche's all prepped, waiting for her husband. They meet and fall in love over and over, but one night, Psyche can't hold back and asks why he keeps hiding from her. But he doesn't respond. So Psyche decided to play by her husband's rules and drop the whole subject. Time rolled on, and even though she was happy, Psyche started missing her family. Eros, thinking that her return after being set free would prove her true love, gave the green light. Psyche's family was over the moon to see her, thinking she was a goner. The grand return was amazing. Naturally, the sisters had questions. Psyche's response was all sunshine and rainbows. But you guessed it, jealousy got to her sisters. They weren't buying Psyche's story, even with her spreading joy and handing out beautiful gifts. Zephyr, the west wind, carried Psyche and her sisters to the heavenly palace. Once there, reality hit. Everything Psyche said was true. But instead of being happy for her, jealousy took the wheel, and the sisters decided to stir up trouble in Psyche's love life. They made her paranoid about Apollo's prophecy and instructed her to kill her husband, who they claimed was a hideous monster. Her sisters left. They left behind some serious trust issues in Psyche's heart. Night fell, and her hubby was sleeping beside her. Psyche, armed with a knife and a tiny lamp, approached her bed, only to find out this wasn't some monster, but a handsome, divine dude. Getting closer, she admired her husband's godlike beauty and figured he had to be some deity. But, oops, a drop of hot oil slipped from the lamp, hitting Eros's chest. He jolted awake, facing Psyche with a knife. Eros was upset and said she'd never have the privilege of seeing him again. Eros bolted out the window, and Psyche leaped after him, missing her mark and hitting the ground. And the injuries were minor, but her heart shattered. Word got out that Psyche was back, and her sisters dashed to the cliff, hoping the west wind would carry them away. Zephyr blew, and the sisters threw themselves into his arms, but he let them fall from the cliff. Poor Psyche ended up helping out at the goddess Demeter's temple, but her thoughts never strayed far from her lost love. And that was the tragic love story of Eros and Psyche. If that hits you as hard as it hit us, make sure you like this video and subscribe to Divine Chronicles for more content like this.